So I'm gonna hit record, turn on my screen here. If you wouldn't mind just confirming that you're looking at Infusionsoft and not the GoToWebinar screen. We all good on that? Cool. All right, well, thanks everyone for joining me today. We are going to be going through the auto launch campaign. So I will briefly hop into that and just kind of go through the various components and kind of what's working. So that will be the first kind of section. And then I will go into, I know we got a lot of questions, a lot of email questions, so then I'll go through and start answering those. If you have questions, you can type them in the question box at any time. I will loop back to those more towards the end, so we're going to go for about an hour. So I'll go through the auto launch, take care of the email questions first. I do kind of prioritize those. So if you have those throughout the week, just a reminder, you can shoot them to me, say, hey, can you go through this on the call? Or this was a little confusing in the video. Can you clear this up for me? And happy to do it. This is your time to kind of get those outstanding questions answered and get a little clarity on stuff. And I can do a screen share and walk you through anything. So yeah, we got a lot of good questions, lot to cover. So I'm going to jump right in. Let me pull up the auto launch. All right, so this is the auto launch campaign. This is meant to replicate your standard product launch. So there's a specific formula that we kind of follow, and you'll see a lot of people in the marketing space kind of follow this formula. So that's what we've designed this campaign around. And that is, 3 launch videos, kind of pre-launch content. Those are meant to, get people sold on the offering, kind of give value. So it should be kind of giving value, but also getting them excited about the product you're launching. So you want to kind of get them started, and then the product will kind of bridge the gap. So if your product is starting an online business, maybe these 3 launch videos kind of contain some of that content. Maybe it's, here's an awesome tactic on driving traffic, or here's how to set up Facebook ads, or something. So something of value they can take, and you say, hey, I'm going to show you how to do the rest of that in the course. And then you kind of go into your offering. So those are the pre-launch videos. So what we have here is an opt-in form. So if you're running cold traffic, people can opt in for that. And the way you market that is, hey, I'm doing a 3-part video series on XYZ. And then, you can do a 3-part video series, which leads them into, selling of the product. The other way is via tag. So this would be to your existing list. And I did get some questions on like how do you start the campaigns from existing lists. So I will show you that later on. The answer is usually tags. That's the best way. So I'll show you how to do that. But yeah, so you have those 2 options. Now we have this placeholder. I got a lot of questions on that. It's only there for kind of aesthetic purposes. So we could have not had it, but the campaign would have had like lines from here crossing into this and crossing it, and they would have it would just would not have looked as pretty. So we put this placeholder in to just kind of there's nothing in it. That is how it's supposed to be. You're not missing something. It's meant to filter people through to the send video 1 or the already purchased. So we start everyone off. They come through here. Now we've set up this is what's called a decision diamond in Infusionsoft. And we've kind of put these tags here. So you will have to tag the people. Like if this isn't a new product, maybe you've already launched this product, maybe you're already selling it, but you want to set up this campaign to go with it. Chances are there's some people that have already bought it. Well, we don't want to send them back through it. So that's what this is meant to do, this decision diamond. So you'll see here we have just some rules set up. If the contacts tags doesn't contain, and then we did new customer purchased. So this is just a purchase tag. So when you're kind of going through, you should tag the people that have purchased specific products. So Infusionsoft kind of tags are everything. They're kind of how everything's organized and how you segment your lists and everything. So you should tag the people that have purchased specific products. So if this funnel, if this campaign, the auto launch campaign, is selling a course on how to set up your own business, then I would tag them purchased, whatever the course is called. So that this way this decision diamond will read their contact record, say, okay, it doesn't contain this tag, I'm going to send them through. Or contains it. Okay, they already purchased this. I don't want them to go back through something they already purchased. That's not a good customer experience. So we're going to send them to this already purchased sequence, which is just applying tags to send them to, I changed this, but in yours it should say to next campaign. So for instance, here it has the Goodwill start campaign. So we would send them to a Goodwill campaign that they haven't been through before. So we kind of set up that logic there to differentiate. So for the people that don't have the tag, those are the people that have not purchased this product. We send them to the auto launch send video 1. So they will go into this sequence where we are sending video 1, email 1, video 1, email 2, video 1, email 3. Those are 3 emails all linking to the same video. So we want to get them engaged. We want them to watch video 1. So that's the whole point of this first sequence. You have Frank's copy in there, and you'll notice it's pretty much the same email. Like he might change some things. He changes the subject line and maybe, a couple of things. Very important video for you. Please watch. And then let's go into video 1, email 2. Different subject line. Confirm. You got to see this. And then it's a lot of copy paste because we're assuming if they didn't click anything, they didn't take any action, then they probably didn't read the email, or they're not interested. Either way, we want to know. So whole goal of these 3 is to get them to click to watch the video. Now, if they do that, we have right here a link click goal. So if I double click on that, you'll notice that these are the 3 emails. So see, it says on the left, auto launch video 1, email 1, video 1, email 2. When you set links in Infusionsoft and then you have this link click goal, each link will give you a little box right here. So when you first do it, it'll probably look like this. So they're all blue, and these are all the spots where those links appear in these emails. So you just go through and say, okay, click, check, check, check. So anytime you check, then Infusionsoft's considering that the goal. So if they click any of the links that are checked, that goal will be fulfilled, and it'll pull them out of the previous sequence. So I'm just going to go through and select these, and I'm going to leave the unsubscribe link alone because that is fulfilling a different goal, and that's not what we want to track. That's not what we want to do to move that forward. So you go through each of these. Anytime there's links, you select them. And kind of how this works is as soon as a goal is achieved in Infusionsoft, it stops everything prior to it. So as soon as they click the link here that we set up, then they will be pulled out of this sequence and go into the auto launch send pre-launch. So if they click the link in the first email, they will not get email 2 and 3. If they click the link in the second email, they will not get email 3. So as soon as they take the action we want, it stops everything and moves them forward. Now, yep, that's set up. This is supposed to be set up right there. It should be in yours. I use this app for testing a lot of stuff, so some of the stuff, sometimes it's off. But anyway, so if they never click, they go through all 3 of those. They get all 3 of the emails. They never watch the video. we're going to assume they're not interested. So we're not going to send them anything else. We're not going to send them video 2 and 3. We're just going to assume, okay, they don't want this content. Let's send them something maybe they do want. So we have this contingency in place. Same thing, just like before. If they've already purchased, we're sending them to another campaign. Maybe a Goodwill. Maybe we're inviting them to a webinar. Maybe we'll do something else with them. So you can have all of these campaigns running to sell the same product. I would just recommend doing it from different angles. So if the auto launch is selling it, and like I said, we have a 3-part video series that's, it's a free training on something. Maybe if they don't take any action there, you send them to a webinar that's going to teach them how to convert cold traffic into leads, or something that's going to give them value. That, again, you're giving them great content. Give away awesome content for free. The best way to show someone that you can help them is to actually help them. So give away stuff that will help them, and then say, hey, if you liked this, if this was useful to you, I have this product which is going to show you how to do this, not only this, but then X, Y, and Z, and then you kind of get into your pitch. So you can get into it. You can just attack it from a different angle. So back up here, after they click the link, they've watched video 1, we assume. Then they go into the pre-launch content, which we're sending video 2 and 3. At this point, they've already demonstrated that they have shown interest. They've watched video 1, so we're not going to track the link clicks anymore. We're just going to send them video 2 and 3 and hope they watch them, but we're not tracking that. You can set up tracking for that if you want. We don't. We just send them 2 and 3. We want to know if they click the first one. After that, we move them along. Up here, these are the HTTP posts. These are calculating. So this whole funnel is set up as evergreen, so it's meant to replicate a product launch. And in that being that, hey, we're going to open the cart on a specific time to give you access to buy, and we're going to close the cart on a specific time, and you will no longer be able to purchase it. And we actually do that. We actually open the cart and we take away access. So you can't buy everything you can't just go to the site and say, okay, I'm going to buy this now. You only have that specific window, and that kind of creates that scarcity that we're looking for, and it's a little bit more exclusive. So what these are doing, these are set up in plus this, which the videos explain how to do. So I'm not going to get into that unless people need clarification. But basically, you're setting up those dates so that when they get into this part of the funnel of the campaign, they're going to have a specific date for that customer that's going to be unique to them of when their cart opens and when it closes. And that's all automatically calculated here. And then that date is merged in to these emails. So we'll say, hey, the cart is opening, enrollment is opening, whatever it is you're selling is opening on, and we'll merge in the date. And then we get into, another thing. So from all of these videos, we are giving them the option to join the early bird list. Now, you do not have to have an early bird list. It is not necessary, but a lot of times the people who join the early bird list are the ones that are very serious buyers. So we open the cart for them immediately. So beneath our videos, for the 1, 2, and 3, the auto launch videos, we'll have the option to join the early bird list. So we'll say, hey, in a couple of days, we're opening the cart for this product. This is all promotional for, product XYZ. If you want to join the early bird list, you can below. And they'll have, there'll be a form they can fill out, which is this form right here. So, which starts them into the early bird follow-up and actually gives them access, usually right away. So it says, hey, I'm opening the cart right now for the early bird. You can purchase here, and we send them to the order form. And a lot of times those people will buy right away because they're a little bit more urgent. They know they want the product. They're all in right away. So we don't want to have them wait anymore. We figure, if they're taking action, joining the early bird list, we want, strike while the iron's hot. So, hey, you're getting the cart open, you can buy. And we're doing all that right here. So for anyone who doesn't buy, by the way, and then at the end we have all these purchase goals. So if at any time they do purchase, it's pulling them out of the campaign. So they're done. They're being pulled out. They're not getting any more content. So these goals, set up anywhere, will stop everything prior to it. So then we go into the countdown sequence. And we're just saying, hey, we're taking away access. The cart is closing. This offer will no longer be available on such and such date, which we've already calculated. We're just merging that date into these emails. Now, the way we do that is through the plus this smart links. Again, there's videos in the membership area on kind of how to set all that up. So I'm not going to get into that, but you'll see this tag is kind of controlling that smart link. So if they have this tag that we're applying, which is the cart open tag, then all the links in these emails that link to the VSL and the order form page, if they have that tag, they will go to that link. If they do not have that tag, they will go to a sold out page, or I think it says this content is, or this offer is no longer available. We just have a generic page that we use for all of them that says this offer is no longer available, or something like that. I can't even remember the exact copy, but something along those lines. So yeah, we're applying that tag. The smart link is reading whether they have that tag or not. If they do, sending them to the VSL. If not, sending them to the sold out page. So we're sending them, 4, 5 emails, 6 emails. That's just all saying, all launch emails. They're pretty basic. Just, hey, you have a couple hours left. You have a day left. And most of this is copy paste, as you'll notice. It's just, the subject line is different. Maybe the first sentence is different. And then this is all just copy paste. You can also do some bonus stacking within these emails. So maybe the first one you're saying, hey, the cart's open. You have, cart closes on such and such date. Pretty generic. Maybe by this one, when there's 24 hours left, you say, hey, if you buy in the next 24 hours, I'm also going to throw in this bonus or this live recording, this additional training, but it's only available for the next 24 hours. So you kind of stack the bonuses as they get further along to increase the incentive for them to buy. Now, we give everyone all of the so any bonuses that you do offer, you give to the people that bought early as well. And it's just a nice surprise to them. So the people that bought early that didn't know about it are just like, oh, awesome, this is amazing. I didn't even know I got this bonus, and then they get it. And the people that bought a little bit later, maybe that was what was needed to get them over the hump. They get what they were expecting. So it's a win-win. So you always give away all the bonuses. Don't hold them out for just the people that bought late. You want to give them to everyone. So yeah, that's how that works. And the last thing we're doing is removing that cart open tag. So once this tag is removed, then they no longer have access. If they go back in and click those links, the plus this smart link is going to say, nope, you don't have the tag anymore. It's going to take you to sorry, this content is no longer available. This offer is no longer available. And they were warned sufficiently. And then at the end, we have, after that countdown, we have another contingency. They never bought. So we're just applying a tag to send them to another campaign. Didn't buy, go into another campaign. So that's kind of the auto launch in a nutshell, some of the psychology and strategy behind it. So hopefully that cleared up some questions people had on that. So I'm going to get into some of the email questions right now. Okay, so if there's any questions on the auto launch, I guess I'll answer those first. Jason, how do I get the campaigns? I'll connect with you, Jason. There's a couple of steps that you need to take, so also I'll shoot you an email on those. Although the VSL is frequently referenced, I don't see it anywhere in this sequence. Okay, so all of these countdown emails are going to the VSL. So once the cart is open, so this is all pre-launch content. The countdown sequence is where we actually open the cart. So all of these links you can get. So this was all for mass conversion when we launched that. Check the link to VSL, which is the smart link. So this video, link to VSL, which is the smart link you set up in plus this. So these are all going to the VSL. When I say smart link, that really is the VSL. The smart link is basically 2 links in one. So when you set that up in plus this, you'll put the VSL, the link to the VSL in one section, and then the sold out link in another one, and it creates one link that we will link to in these emails. And that will check the tag in Infusionsoft and say, okay, they have this tag, they have the cart open tag, they're going to the VSL. They don't, they're going to the sold out page. So all of these countdown emails are all linking to the smart link, which is the VSL. So if they're in this part, they're going to see the VSL, they're going to have the chance to buy. Okay, can you show how to set up the goals, please? Sure. So it depends. So first thing, what you're going to do is over under the campaign tools is going to be a goal icon. So a goal is what starts everything in Infusionsoft and ends everything in Infusionsoft. So it'll start a sequence. It's like a trigger and a stopping point. So it's kind of the essential function of the campaign builder. So if you just drag it out and drop it, it's going to pop up these options. It's going to say enter a goal name, and you'll name it, whatever it's actually doing. This goal is achieved when a contact, and it gives you all these options. Submits a web form, submits a landing page form. So those are both just forms. Once they fill them out and hit enter, it's achieved. Clicks a link. I showed you that one. Anytime they click a link in an email. Reaches a score is a lead scoring tactic. So you can set up kind of lead scoring in your app, which I'm not going to get into on this call, but if you want information on it, you can go to help.infusionsoft.com, or you can call Infusionsoft and speak with a support rep. They have live phone and chat support. They have good support. So you can ask them, hey, can you walk me through lead scoring? And they'll walk you through it. They'll do a join.me with you. They'll do a screen share. I know all that because I used to work there. So yes, they have good support. Purchases a product. If someone purchases, that's obviously a goal. So you just select which one you want. And then there's user submitted ones. So these ones won't be completed by your customer. They will be completed by someone internally. So submits an internal form. That's just a web form that basically you submit internally. The customer doesn't submit it. Completes a task. You can have tasks automatically generated, and you just check a box from your calendar. That will complete a goal. Moves an opportunity stage, so applies a note, applies a tag. The main ones you guys are focused on are web form, link click, purchase, tag. Right now, I would only worry about those. There's a lot more which you can get into, but don't overwhelm yourself and try to learn all of them. Tags are very important. Learn how that one works. And then, like I said, the purchase one, pretty self-explanatory. The web form's pretty self-explanatory. It's just generally an opt-in form or some kind of like application if you have that. And then the link click is a big one as well, because that's tracking in emails. That's making sure people are clicking on links they're supposed to. So, and then you'll just select one and hit save, and it'll change the goal here. And then you'll double click on it again and to configure it. So this goal is achieved when any of the contacts tags are applied, and then you have your list of tags here. So good question. Goals are very important. So how do we get people into this campaign? Say they're not new opt-ins. We already have a list. You've been building a list. You're building out this campaign. You got it. It's ready to go. How do you launch it? So first, hang on, let me hop back in there. So the way you're going to do this is by applying a tag to everyone. So I'm going to double click on this first goal, and you see the tag there is auto launch new product, start campaign. We named it new product as like a generic name because we don't know what your product names are. I would change that category, which I can show you how to do, to make it product specific. So you know, okay, like for instance, in our app, we have auto launch, mass conversion, auto launch ultimate webinar blueprint, all our products, we have them kind of categorized. I think mass conversion is the only one we're actually running an auto launch for right now. I think all the other ones are doing webinars. But anyway. Okay, so that's the tag, auto launch start campaign. So I'm going to go to my contacts. It's going to pull up a list. If you've never searched, it's pulling up the most recent search I did. So for you, if you haven't done it, it'll look like this, or just hit start over to start fresh. And it'll give you some search criteria. So this part will be, if you want to just send it to your entire list that's imported into Infusionsoft, you just hit search. Don't select anything, don't do anything, just from the search criteria, hit search, and it'll pull up everyone. So I have 411 contacts. Most of those are like test contacts, and just I don't run anything out of this app. This is just my app for testing and stuff. So now if I wanted to kind of segment them a little bit, the easiest way is to do it by tags. So, I mean, if it's a brand new app, people probably aren't going to have tags yet, so you're going to want to send them all the way through. But once you've been using Infusionsoft for a little bit, not everyone's going to have the same tags. So you can do a tag search here and say, okay, I want to send this to everyone who hasn't purchased. So I can select anyone who doesn't have any of these tags, and then I'll just find my purchased. And then, I have all these weird ones. There's a purchase tag. So anyone who doesn't have that, hit OK. It's probably going to be everyone. Oh, there's one person with that. So now my list is 410. So, okay, I've got my list. I've figured out I've kind of gone through, I've hit edit criteria. And there's lots of things you can kind of, segment here to pull them out and to get this list refined. But you've got your list here. This is all right. All right, I want to drop everyone in that campaign. Couple of ways to do it. You can hit actions, start, stop a campaign sequence, and that's kind of like how you manually start them. Or you can apply a tag to them. Now, to apply a tag, right there, second option, apply remove tag. And then I would find my auto launch. There it is. And then that was the new product, start campaign. So I would hit save, and I'm not going to process it because there's actual email addresses in there, and I don't want them getting random emails right now. But I would hit save and then hit process action. It would apply that tag to all of them, which would kick off the campaign and start them all in. So that's kind of the best way to do it. And just so you know, kind of like a gotcha, in Infusionsoft, if they already have a tag and you apply it again, nothing will happen. So if someone's in the campaign and they already have the start campaign tag and we apply it again, they're not going to be started in the campaign again. Nothing's going to happen. So you'll notice in the campaigns, a lot of the times we will apply a tag, and in the very next sequence, we will remove that same tag. And that's just because there's goals or actions triggered to that tag being applied. And if they already have it, then nothing will happen if they get it again. So questions on tags. How do you know when to apply a tag? So you can apply them manually. There's also lots of ways customers can get tags in Infusionsoft. So for instance, back in a perfect example is, say from the auto launch, I wanted to send someone to the Goodwill campaign. And this is kind of how you bolt all these campaigns together as well. So let's click on the Goodwill. Let's just see the tag that's starting it off. It's going to be Goodwill Start Campaign. So I'll look at this tag goal right here. Goodwill Start Campaign tag. So now if I'm in the auto launch, I can go to all the places that they fell off. So, okay, well, first one, they already purchased this product. Don't want to send them through again. So here, these are all tags. So this ones are just kind of stating that already purchased, came through again, just so I know. These are kind of just status tags. And then I'm removing, like I said, remember, removing the start campaign tag, just so they're never, so if we put them back through it, it will actually trigger. Otherwise, they'll already have the tag and it won't start it. So we're removing that one. And then down here, second line, applying the Goodwill Start Campaign tag. So if they already purchased, they're going to get the Goodwill Start Campaign tag applied, which is going to trigger the Goodwill campaign. So maybe, and you could do this differently. So maybe for these people, maybe the people that already purchased, I want to send to a Goodwill, but the people that clicked here, so they were interested, but maybe they didn't buy, maybe I want to send them to a webinar. So this tag, instead of going to the Goodwill, I would send them to AutoWebby. I forget what the tag is. I don't think it's Start Campaign for that one. Pretty sure it's Send Webinar Invite. Oops, where'd it go? Right there. So I think this is the tag that starts off the AutoWebby campaign. So I would send them AutoWebby Send Webinar Invite, and that would start the AutoWebby campaign. So you can kind of pick and choose. It's like a choose your own adventure novel. You can choose kind of the customer flow, and you have control over that. You can say if they don't purchase here, I want them to go right here. So you can control kind of all aspects of the funnel through these, which is really cool and gives you a lot of control over what people are seeing and what they are not seeing. So tags, yeah, can be done manually. They can be done automatically. They can be done through a lot of different options. Hang on here. Turn off these notifications. All right. How do I import my contacts into Infusionsoft? Good question. So if you are in your app, hover over this little guy, and then under the admin, import data, you'll see there are some options. So if you use any one of these, if you have Aweber, a Constant Contact, One Shopping Cart, any of those, and you want to import them, they've already kind of given you the option. Now you'll still have to export it from these, but just do like a standard export, however they export it, save that file, and then you can just click, okay, say use Aweber. You can just upload that file here, and it's already kind of formatted, so Infusionsoft knows how Aweber exports, and will import them kind of using the same fields, so it'll be kind of congruent. If you don't use it, just export or get all your contacts into a CSV, so an Excel spreadsheet CSV file. That's the best way to do it. And whichever, just kind of put in columns, whichever fields you want. So name, email, phone, address. You'll click contacts, you'll hit go. It'll ask you to upload it. And then it'll actually give you a sample contact. So it'll show you, it's like, hey, this is how it's going to look in import. It'll give you a chance to like match up the correct fields. So it'll like if the Excel column is under name, it's going to say, okay, which Infusionsoft field is that? And you just select name. It'll guess on a lot of them, which is it's usually right, but just make sure that they're all line up. And then, yeah, it'll give you like a sample one. It's like, hey, does all this look correct? And you'll say yes, and then you'll import them. And give you a chance to review it, and you can actually revert the import as well. So if you mess it up, you can try again. It's not the end of the world. It'll also give you a chance to tag them right there. So on that import, you can say, okay, I want to tag all these people as maybe they're, part of a special list. Maybe it's just the purchase list. okay, I want to tag them, and then you can apply a purchase tag to them or purchase X product. So you know. So you can do all that on import as well. So you don't have to sift through all the people after they've already all been imported in your system. If you have questions on that, or if you're stuck on it, I'll say it again, take advantage of Infusionsoft support. Infusionsoft is very complicated. There's a lot of different ways to do different things. There is a learning curve involved. Don't get frustrated and overwhelmed. It's a process, but just call them, use them, keep them on the phone. Say, hey, can you sit with me while I do this? Can you do a screen share so we can go through this together? And they will. I get some water. All right. So that is importing. Okay, megaphone pages. People were kind of asking, I thought Frank's copy was going to be loaded on these. So for most of these pages, I mean, we have some VSL pages with copy, but most of them are just video pages. So like if we go to our VSL, like there's no copy on it because it's just like we usually just have a headline and then we have the video and then a buy link. So I mean, there's not a lot of copy that we have on pages. Most of our stuff is done through video. So if you're looking to kind of customize these, like you'll notice, hey, this is a landing page. It has like my blog and stuff. Well, I don't have any of that. So just go to customize. I don't want the logo. I don't want the nav buttons, any of them. So I'm going to hide them all. I don't want the links there. I'll take the headline. Countdown timer, no. Let's see what else is there. You can put some copy on around your product right here if you'd like. I don't want any of this stuff at the bottom. I'll leave that. I'll hide the footer. So now I just have kind of a standalone page. So if I had a VSL, I would upload it to Wistia, YouTube, Vimeo, whatever it is, and you can just click video, put the URL there. It'll pop it in here. Set this buy link. So you can just put the link, the URL to your order form right here. Change this copy, and it's pretty much set to go. They even have a timed reveal right here. So if you don't want this button to appear, like if your VSL, you want people to watch your VSL, you can have this, like some of Frank's VSLs are like an hour long. So maybe we'll put the buy button at 50 minutes. And maybe that's where he starts, saying, all right, it's open now. So this button will appear 50 minutes from when they get onto that page. So kind of cool features. Yeah, but that's how you can kind of customize it. So yeah, there's no copy on it. A lot of these campaigns we're not running anymore. We're kind of singularly focused now. So these are what we've run in the past, and they've been awesome and had a ton of success. But a lot of them aren't live anymore that we're doing. We're kind of shifting our model. So that's why, yeah, you don't have copy on those. You don't have the actual pages. All right, let's see. What is the email only campaign and new customer campaign? So the new customer campaign is very basic. It's just meant to, when someone purchases, send them some kind of fulfillment. So it's a new customer welcome. So this is a purchase goal. So you double click on this and set, you can do any purchase, specific product, and you'd select your products. Product in specific category, you can put your products in categories. So anytime the purchase is made from that category, it will trigger this goal. And then we just have a sequence that's just, sending them a welcome email. That's all it is. Very basic campaign. Just say, hey, welcome to the team, welcome to the family. Here's what to expect. Here's your login. Here's, whatever you need to send them, whatever your fulfillment piece they need. That's all that's meant to be. It's just so if you're already selling, you can get up and running and kind of get the first one launched. That one you can get launched in 20 minutes. And it's just an easy way to send some marketing. Now, the email only campaign, is very cool. So what this campaign does is, now, before I say this, there are videos explaining this in the members area. Those videos talk about a software called Parsi. Since we have recorded those videos, Plus This has actually come out with a way to do what Parsi does. Everything in that video is correct. It still works exactly that way if you want to use Parsi. Parsi is pretty cheap. It's like $20 a month or something. But Plus This can do all of that as well. So basically what the email only campaign is just what it says. It's all triggered through emails. So we will send, it's meant to be kind of bolted on after a campaign, so not to cold traffic. Generally, if someone, the best case scenario or best use for it is like if someone went on a webinar or went through the auto launch but didn't purchase, maybe you send them to the email only campaign. So they went through everything, they consumed the content, they didn't purchase. What happens is they get a tag applied. So you'll notice we don't have an opt-in form on this or anything because, like we said, not great for cold traffic, meant to be used to existing list. Another use case would be like if you have an existing list and you're taking, you're opening maybe a beta program. So that's what we actually did for a lot of this. This is a beta program that we're testing right now. I believe we used an email-only campaign to sell it. So you probably got an email that said, hey, we're offering this, this, and this. Here's the details. If you're interested, respond to this email and let us know that you're in. That is an email-only campaign. So we have the 3 feeler emails. These emails are gauging interest. We shoot them an email. We say, want me to do my marketing for you? Hey, would you like me to implement my campaigns? We're doing a live boot camp. If that sounds good, you just kind of give them the details on what the offering is. Not necessarily giving them price yet, not giving them any of the specifics, just kind of like, hey, here's what we're doing. This could be, hey, I'm taking on a handful of coaching clients for a new test. I can only, it's a limited group. You were selected, whatever you want to say. Just email me at, and we have workshop@frankkern.com if that sounds like something you'd like to do. So you could say, hey, reply to this email, and it would be, workshop@frankkern.com, and let me know that you're in. Once they reply to it, this goal is triggered, and we send them another email, a response email. It's like, hey, thanks so much. Here's all the details, and then you can give them all the details, the price, everything, everything they need, all the specifics would be in that second email. It's like, okay, here's how it's going to look. I'm doing this. It's going to cost X amount a month, whatever it is. That's what you send in the second one. And then, so now they have the specifics. So we're asking them again, all right, reply, let me know that you're in again. So the action in these, the goal is them replying to the email. They don't have to do anything else. So you can see, we have all the campaigns, offering some bonuses. Just reply to this email, let us know that you're in. Once they reply, our last one is an opportunity is created. So that's for our sales team, an opportunity record is created, and then we'll call and say, hey, awesome that you replied. Do you have any more questions? No, here's an order form, sold. Excellent. So how we set this up is in Plus This, you're going to use the email triggers goal. So we want to apply a tag. I don't know if I have one set for this, but the tag would be like responded. I guess I can use the email only one. Email only replied to info email. Great, that's the tag. I'll give it a name. Add feature, and now Plus This generates their own email address right here. So this is kind of a long, ugly email address, and then they give you some instructions of where to put that. Now, what I would recommend doing and what we do is set up a domain forwarder, so they're not emailing this email address right here. They're actually emailing, a separate email address that is forwarding to this, and that will still achieve the goal. So you can Google, domain forwarder. Pretty easy to set up. But if you want to use this one, that's fine. Just copy it. And in these emails, the email address, you'll paste it there. So you can just say, hey, reply and let me know that you're in. They will reply. This is actually, we'll fire off some automation and we'll tag them. So we just need to change this. This is the goal that we're setting up to email only. And I think I set the other one to reply to info email. So keep it there, save. So now that's all set up. I could send this out. If you replied to it, you would get this tag. It would achieve that goal. It would automatically send you the info on the second one. So that's the email only campaign, kind of in a nutshell, an abbreviated version, but that's how it's used. So good question. Okay, Stealth and Webinar Jam, what are the differences? So essentially they are the same. I recommend both of them. Stealth is great because they have awesome support. So if this stuff is kind of confusing for you and the setup is a little bit difficult, Stealth will literally do most of it for you, which is awesome. They will go into your Infusionsoft account. They will set up what they need to. So I like them for that aspect of it. Webinar Jam is probably a little bit cleaner of a. They both integrate with Infusionsoft. You can both do the main difference in terms of these campaigns is the reminder emails. So we have reminder emails kind of set up within the campaign. With Webinar Jam, you just have to have them sent from Webinar Jam. So that's really the only. So all these reminder, like the morning of, 2 hours before, 45 minutes before, those are just reminders for the email, or those are reminders for the webinar, sorry. Those will need to be sent from Webinar Jam, but like I said, it's easy to set up. And with Stealth, they're actually sent from the Infusionsoft campaign. So other than that, though, they both work. They're both awesome. We use them both. No complaints. They're both great choices. You can't really go wrong. Webinar Jam is probably a little bit better for hybrid webinars if you're going to do those, which is where you kind of do a live intro and then play your middle piece, your chunk of your content, and then your selling piece is all recorded, and then you come on for like a live Q&A. I'll give Webinar Jam a little bit of an advantage there, but again, they both do it. Stealth does them as well. But yeah, so how do I get that connected to, okay, how do you get the purchase product connected to the campaign they purchased from? So you just select, so for instance, say, all right, we're in the AutoWebby, there's a purchase goal at the end of it. I would select specific product purchase, say I want to select 100 pack of pens. That's a default weird one, but hey, that's what I'm selling. So that's set. You saw it turn green there. I just need to publish. Now that can achieve two things at the same time. So that can also achieve my new customer campaign. I would just select the exact same product when I'm selecting the goal. So specific product, 100 pack of pens, done. So as long as they're through Infusionsoft order forms, or you're using, like a Sam card, or I don't know, a lot of the merchant accounts and shopping carts will integrate with Infusionsoft. So yeah, you can do that. And now it's all set up. So it'll achieve the goal in both campaigns it'll send off this email right away. So if you have you can have a campaign for just fulfillment that's triggered with a purchase. That's what we do. So it's simultaneously ending the AutoWebby campaign and starting the fulfillment campaign. So the API goal in the email only, that is what was set up through Parsi, which is the other software that does the same thing. Basically, it does what Plus This just rolled. I mean, they just rolled out that feature probably like a week or two ago that allowed it to tag people when they respond to emails. So we used to have to use Parsi for that, but now we can use Plus This. So with Parsi, though, you had to do it with an API goal. So you had to, integration Parsi and set the call name, which it goes step by step in that video. We actually had, I think he's a founder of Parsi or the CEO, I can't remember, but he's the one who explains it in that video. So he does a great job. It still works, like I said, works totally fine, but there is another way now as well with Plus This, which you already have. So it kind of worked out nicely. Do auto webinars have chat boxes like live webinars? Yes, they do. So you can set your amount of attendees you want to, I'm using air quotes, show up to your webinar. So you can have it, be 50 people on there. You can give them all usernames. You can have dialogue on there as well. So, say, hey, where are you all from? Phoenix, LA. And you can upload previous chats. So if you've done a webinar before, you can upload the transcript of that, and it'll just kind of play along with the video. So people will ask questions at specific times, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. You can replicate almost the exact webinar, with everything. You can control all the names, but yeah. Do you not recommend GoToMeeting? No, I love GoToMeeting. If you're going to do live webinars, I think GoToMeeting is the best. The other ones are great for auto webinars, so where you don't have to be on there, but because GoToMeeting does not do that. Otherwise, yeah, GoToMeeting is great, and you can set up most of this stuff through GoToMeeting in terms of the campaigns. Plus, this has a feature as well, GoToWebinar integration. That will let you select. So I have another support call today at 2 for another program. So it integrates. These are your previously scheduled support calls. You can automatically register people for it and send reminders and drop them in and apply tags if they're stayed on at a certain time. So you can still do everything with the campaigns through Plus This as well. All right, publishing questions. So we got a couple more minutes here. So you'll notice when you publish a campaign that it's probably going to give you some errors. Be mindful of them, but they are not necessarily mean okay, you can't publish it at all. So if I hit publish right now, let's see what errors it gives me. If they're yellow, then it means you're fine, you're good to go. If they're red, then it actually will not let you publish. It means something's not configured right, and it's kind of like a, hey, check this. These ones I would check and make sure. Element not marked as ready. Not sure what it's referring to here. Oh, so it's referring to the whole sequence there. So see up here, it's draft mode. I have to set that whole sequence to ready. So now if I publish, that one will no longer be there. Emails are not personalized. That just means that in some of the emails, it doesn't say hi, first name. It's just kind of a generic email, which I don't care about. No, I would add that for most of them. We do have it for most of them. Just some of them are just kind of info. If we're saying, hey, the webinar's starting now, you might not always need to put, hi, first name, the webinar's starting now. You can just kind of put it. So yeah, then you can go ahead and publish. So if I just bypass these, so I'll say publish anyway, and it will publish. And I can go back to edit, and I can change anything I want. Now, if it's red, if there's a red X, check that out, because that will not let you publish. That means something is not set up right, and it will actually affect kind of the campaign from launching. How to mail to your existing list. So I showed you how to start them into a campaign, but how do you, like, what if I just wanted to send them a one-off email? What if I have a newsletter or something? So for that, we go to email and broadcasts, which is under the marketing, email and broadcasts. Send an email broadcast. Start from scratch. So this is going to give you the option to choose your recipients. So if you have like a saved search, you can just do that. I have that for the support calls. So I just say, okay, support call. I have a saved search with everyone, but you can do new search. You can select it by tag. Like I said, this is the same criteria we did on the contact search. So you can kind of segment that way. If you want to just go to everyone, just hit search. And mine should be 400 and 5 of the, okay, so this is telling me that 5 of these are non-marketable, meaning a couple of things, like it could be they said it was spam, they unsubscribed, they have a hard bounce email, there's a couple of different options. If someone unsubscribes and they're still on your email list, Infusionsoft will automatically skip their email. So if they went in and unsubscribed themselves, Infusionsoft will just skip over that email address. So you don't have to worry about like going through and deleting them after every, unsubscribe. Infusionsoft is smart enough to read that and just skip over their email address. Now it's still kind of best practice to do that, to kind of, clean your list just so, you're not getting wrong reports on, you're sending an email to 10,000 people, but a ton of them have unsubscribed already, your numbers are kind of going to be off. So it's best practice to kind of clean the list. So yeah, I would go next. I have my list, and then it will bring me to the email builder. So I'll select who I want it to come from. Select other, put a name and an email address, put my subject line, and then I can hit edit email. I can edit it, everything, send a test, and then I'll just hit next, and it'll allow me to send it. So that's kind of how you send a one-off emails. How do you clean your list? Oh, good question. So under the marketing reports, there is a report, email status search, right in the middle. So I'll click that, start over here. And then you'll see the first thing is email status contains, so I can set, okay, non-marketable, all the different bounces, opt out, unsubscribe. So I want to search for all the people with those. Okay, so there's 21. Now a lot of these are, fake email addresses or, I don't know, just random tests. So I can either delete these people, I can tag them, I can, do a lot of things with them. I'll probably just delete them because if they unsubscribe, they don't want my stuff. I have no use having them on my list. And a lot of them are tests anyway. So what's the difference between unconfirmed and confirmed? Unconfirmed just means that they have not double opted in. So we don't do double opt-ins generally. I know a lot of people say to do them. I'm not saying that you should not. We just haven't found, a big difference in terms of deliverability or anything like that. So we don't do it, but I'm sure you've all opted in for something and it's been like, click to confirm your email address. That's the first thing you get. So that's a double opt-in. When they click to confirmed, in Infusionsoft, their status will be confirmed. That just means you sent them a double opt-in. If they don't click that, their status will be unconfirmed, which is still fine. You can still market to them. It doesn't change anything. Yeah, just a subtle difference. All right. Well, that is going to about do it for today's call. Thank you guys for being on and sticking it out, asking questions. I will send out the recording of this for you all. If there's anything I didn't cover, you need covered, shoot me an email and we'll try to get to it next week. Yeah, everyone have a great rest of your week and I will talk to you soon.